Hello and welcome to Signal Live. We are back for our second live stream here today for Signal Live, and we are live streaming on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on our Signal YouTube page. So, welcome everyone. Today, I'm excited to have a wonderful guest with us today. We are going to be talking about a lot of wonderful topics around business banking innovation, about exciting career opportunities, about work culture, and community. And so with me today, I have the amazing Sheila L. And Sheila L is our digital member support manager. And she is somebody who is not only an amazing leader, she's an amazing contributor. She's a community activist. She's out there volunteering. And she is somebody who really is so focused on the culture that she does things like bring book clubs into the company for employees to really gather and learn from each other. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome the amazing, the wonderful Sheila L.
Well, thank you so much, Felipe, for having me.
Sorry. Welcome, Sheila. How are you? It's great to have you here. And
Thank
thank you
you
for
again for having me.
I really appreciate you taking time with us today.
It's not
So
a problem. With that welcome, I feel like I should be signing up to become a saint.
well, Sheila, you do so many amazing things, and we really do value you here because it's not taken for granted all that you offer, but I think that you have so many things that you do, and I want everyone to kind of hear your story a little bit. So, would you mind just sharing a little bit about you and who you are?
Oh, not a problem. It'd be my honor to do so. So, as Felipe said, my name is Sheila. I am the digital member support manager. I have been working in credit unions for close to 20 years. And the passion I started off with was naive because I wanted to save the world, not realizing that you could do that without having to be a superhero just by listening to the members. And with that particular type of motto, I've made it almost 20 years. So that's something that I'm pretty proud of. I am the eldest daughter of Haitian immigrants from Haiti and Cuba. I was born and raised in New York. I moved to Maryland 20 plus years ago, and I don't have any plans to leave Maryland unless anyone's getting me tickets to Scotland. But I'm an avid reader. As Felipe mentioned, that we started a book club here at our financial institution for our rest of my colleagues, and also an education club for those who are interested in going back and getting their education at the universities. I'm just a humble person. That's pretty much it.
And you really have helped create such a great culture here with all of us. And like you said, the book club, everything that you've done with education. She is somebody who is consistently encouraging people for ongoing education, and she leads by example. And so she is somebody who is always looking to find ways to continue to learn. So whether it's getting another degree or just learning a new skill. So Sheila, I know at Signal we have a lot of exciting things coming.
Yes.
There's so many things that are happening this year, and it's very exciting because I know I'm excited about what's coming up, in the upcoming months. Are you excited?
I am. I'm truly excited because I feel that a lot of things that we have coming up in the future is really going to benefit and really stay in line with our company's strategic foundation about enabling financial empowerment. And I think we're really keeping on to that promise with what we have coming up for members as well as internal and external members. So I'm excited. A lot of work ahead, but it's very exciting because I really think that our members are really going to appreciate the additional work that this institution and its people are striving to get to, moving folks in the right direction. So I'm very excited.
I'm excited too, and I think it is something that is going to provide more financial empowerment, which is our goal, and it'll help us also, I think, build stronger and deeper relationships,
Mm-hmm.
as well as upping our level of service and that we provide. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. I mean, honestly, that's one of the greatest things about Signal. Not to toot our horn, but I think that's one of the biggest things that as an organization, we strive to find the right products and services to offer our members, to educate them, to empower them, so that they can simply make the right decisions and plan for their future accordingly.
And that's great advice you gave. And and a lot of people don't think realize sometimes that credit unions offer the same service and products as banks. And we are not for profit, so because of
Mhm.
that, we are able to offer lower rates. So that's a great thing that we do. And also, I think the relationships that we build are very unique and special. So a lot of exciting things are
What you
happening.
said
We
was
can't
really
wait. We
great.
honestly cannot wait for all the exciting things that are happening
Yep.
next few months. But we're not going to tell you what they are yet. You're gonna have to come back. You're gonna have to come back and find out. So come back next month, and we might have some information for you then, and the following month as well. So let's move on
You'd
to
be
our next
surprised.
topic. So as far as working at Signal, you've been here how many years now?
6.5.
6 years, 6.5 years, and in those 6.5 years, you've done a lot. But I'm curious, what's different about Signal compared to maybe some of your past experiences or other experiences that you've heard from other people?
Well, I can definitely tell you about my past experience. Signal Financial as a whole, and again, this is really about the people here and the culture that we have, reminded me that I'm an actual person. And for the longest time, as I said, I've been in this industry for almost close to 20 years. And in the 6.5 years, I have been given the opportunity to remember a sense of self. Where I worked prior in other credit unions that I've worked at, it became a commonplace to forget that you are a person. You became a number. You became a cog in the wheel. You I felt as if I wasn't seen, valued, appreciated. I was just there. At Signal, even within my first year, I was like, this place is different. These folks are different. What's in the water? Because honestly, truly, I found a place that didn't, I had to relearn things because I had to relearn that it was okay to speak my mind and not be fearful of some type of retribution. Um, and that was such a beautiful thing. And that carries over to how we do things for our members, how we behave as employees, colleagues from the top down, and how we are able to work together to see our members as people as well. That was to me an astonishing, like, who creates an entire strategic plan based on the membership, how they actually feel, how they as human beings would want to do their finances, to understand their struggles coming from a human approach. And that to me was an eye opener, I guess, or a heart stopper, because that to me just it kind of one wants me to bring up a little bit of tears, but it really made me feel as if I was finally at a place where I could retire.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I mean, and you know, I think hopefully leaders out there that are hearing you say this, really heard you, because I think that's such a powerful message you just sent, is to be seen as who you are, not just a number, or just because you have one attribute or one skill set. That's the only thing they see the value, versus everything that you bring to the table as a human. And you really do bring so much Signal. So I do appreciate that saying that, but we do value, but we value you because you are that amazing, and as well as so many of the other people here. It's so great to be able to have phenomenal people. So, going along those lines, what is it about Signal, in your opinion, that makes us innovative, that makes us stand out to the rest?
Now, to me, again, innovation is depending on how you look at what you consider to be innovative, a concept. And to me, again, that concept is the fact that we do treat people as people, and that we do have it as a person-based environment. And I know it kind of can sound kind of sad that that's an innovation, but it really is, because when you think about the past lockdown, not many companies started to think of, okay, what do I do for my employees? Signal did, to make sure that their employees were mentally sound moving forward. Prior to the lockdown, Signal was already thinking ahead, okay, about disaster recovery, which put us in actually in a better spot for the lockdown. When you start to reshape your thinking, that makes something definitely innovative, because you are changing the concept, the perception of how you do business and how you treat people. It's not traditional brick and mortar, it's beyond that. And that to me is an innovation that I definitely see Signal in.
I love that answer, Sheila. Usually you ask somebody about innovation, and they're talking about technology and about new toys. But you're right. How you treat people in a culture is can be innovative, and that's a huge thing. I'm so glad you shared that. Um, but you know what? For those people that did think about technology, as far as technology, what do you think we've done that's innovative that's makes us stand out in that sense?
We actually have a, and again, I can't talk too much of what our new concepts are, but currently we have always made it a point to utilize the resources that we have to the umpteenth, meaning we made sure that we had certain types of applications in place for staff to be able to quickly correspond, to quickly be able to get things through to the members. We've also made it a point to make sure that we've utilized our internet access to showcase videos, webinars. And you would think, okay, this is like old school stuff, but it depends on how you use it. Making sure that we create that platform for that type of remote service for our members, and making sure we had the updated technology to be able to make that service. A lot of places will go and say, let me use whatever we have that's old, it's not broken. Signal went above that. So for all the little gadgets and gizmos we have in the background, trust me, we're using that for our members plus for ourselves to be able to make it a more broadened spectrum for our memberships. And I can't, like I said, we can't say too much, but we're considering other things, and that members are going to even see more technological advancements from Signal for themselves. So
All
just
right,
more.
so we'll stop teasing everybody about what's coming. And just to add, I do think our mobile branch that's been a
Mhm.
pretty huge
Oh, the
innovative
big
thing.
if you see down the highway, if you were in Virginia, Maryland, or DC, we do have a beautiful mobile branch that gives people that ability to say, oh, like maybe I could flag them down so I can use the ATM. But we're also going to be able to have that at different events. So that is definitely something that's different that Signal definitely has done, because again, we're thinking about the members, people first. Where are our members? How do we
Yep.
get to them? Not just with shared branching or just an ATM card. Like I said, what people already have debit cards. We've already gone to that point where like we've got a branch that will come to you. So
And it's people think it's the branch, but we got gamification inside the branch to help educate. We've got instant issue debit cards. If you lose your debit card, we can print out your loan check. If you lost or if you've got proof of your car loan,
if you need
and
help, Felipe can help
yeah,
you.
exactly. And not only that, the truck's just fun, engaging, and so definitely if you see it, stop by. Um,
But again, it's
so
member focused.
exactly, and I think that that's something that is very very innovative that we do, and it's unique because a lot of places could have just built a functional branch, but we created
Mhm.
a marketing billboard, we created a functional branch, we gamified financial education, we made it an engagement tool, and honestly, it's just something that is very unique. So I think that when you think about innovation, you think about doing things that are different that makes you stand out, and taking some calculated risks
Concepts.
sometimes of doing that.
Yeah,
And
just changing the concepts of how you think, how to reach people. For instance, we do an art in the city, and during the lockdown, people couldn't come in anymore. Did we stop doing that? No, we just went online. So I mean, we do a lot of things that um, are thinking differently with the resources we have and the resources that we obtain to make sure that we still connect to the community.
yeah, and I think that just goes to show you how much those relationships matter. Because for us,
Mhm.
building relationships matter, and even during the pandemic, we wanted to maintain those relationships, and
Yeah.
that's a huge thing. So, and now Art in the City is coming back live in June, back at the branch. So we're excited to have that. So look forward to an in-person event where we have our monthly art show for Art in the
Mhm.
City at our City Center branch in
Really
DC.
great talented artists out there, and the fact that we have that desire to showcase that again is just speaks volumes of how as an organization we value people, that we want to nurture their talents, and we want our members to see that.
And and it's something that relationship with the school. By the way, the school's name is Compass Atelier, and they just have so many wonderful programs. And every artist I've talked to has just talked so highly of the teachers and the instructors that it's made me want to actually go there and take a class. Because you see how many of them have said they started off with something so simple, and then you see their current paintings, and they're just amazing, absolutely amazing. So, Sheila, I know that obviously we talked about financial empowerment, and
Mhm.
that is something that I think you would agree, we are not that relationship banker mythology where, oh, hey, you got your loan, congratulations, have a nice day. Next, it's we want to know how the car is doing. We want to know how the new home is doing. We want to know how the journey is going with them, and stay in touch with them. Um,
It's
but also,
because
go ahead.
it's because I think very much because you mentioned about teaching, we're not actual teachers, but we're educators. And members are actual members, they're not customers. Um, they own a part of this financial institution. And because of that, we want to do our best to educate them on their financial journey. And because of that, we also do what we can within the community to teach that. And that's why we don't want to just drop you once you get something and you're sitting there wondering, well, what do I do next? That's what we're here for. So,
And you mentioned something. You said as members we're owners,
mhm,
right? Do I get any money back as an owner?
you get dividends. You get
Really?
dividends.
So how's that work?
You put money in, you earn dividends. But no, really, as a member, because you choose to come to Signal, and you have to decide why you want to come to Signal, because everyone has the ability to diversify. And my biggest thing is when I'm looking for a financial institution, I'm looking at the products and services that they have, but I'm also looking at the people, because you can have the greatest products and services, but you can have really terrible folks that you have to deal with. And that unfortunately would sour the experience. So for people who come to Signal, they're not just coming here just to earn a dollar, but they can, by talking to us, letting us know what their actual financial plans or goals are, because you really do need to have a plan of what you're trying to earn. We can provide you with the different types of products, services that can actually help you put in those dollars and see it grow with with dividends. The more you put in, the more you earn. Um, Concept. And so it's just understanding that, being educated about that, providing them resources. We're always updating our website to provide members with fraud information. Because, like I said, like you said earlier, we don't try to leave you hanging. We
Exactly.
provide you information about fraud. We provide you information about how to earn extra money with what you put in. It, we just try to give you a broad spectrum, as I said before, of how to make your money grow and how to make it last.
I love that, and I think that's only if you care enough to listen to our members and hear what they're going through, that's when you can actually do that. And I think that's what our team does very well. I think you all especially do it very well. I know that those relationships, we want them to be lifelong. I always share the example of my mother. used to go up to the branch all the time, and she'd always tell me when she was going to the branch that she was up there. And all of a sudden, I started hearing, "Oh, your mom was up here. Your mom was up here." I'm like, so 3 times in a row, I go back home one day. I'm like, "So, mom, I hear you were at the branch." She's like, "Oh, yeah." It's like, "You didn't tell me. Usually, you tell me you go up there." It's like, "Oh, well, I have my two favorite people up there. I trust them. They don't steer me wrong, and they gave me the same advice as you did, and I feel like I can trust them. So I don't need to check with you if that's okay with you." I'm like, "Are you kidding? That's awesome." I go, "That they stole your son away from you, and you trust them more than your son." I'm like, "That's impressive. That's really impressive."
Oh,
So,
it's
but that's
funny
the
you say that.
relationship. That's the relationship that they made, and I think that shows you that human connection. It's an amazing thing. So,
My mother has an account here too, and I get your mom's here. Your mom's on the phone. She said hi. Like, I know she didn't say hi to me, but it's true. It's like we have such a great rapport. Our family members are here. I mean, and who've joined the credit union as well because of the people that work the front lines, both in person, branch, as well as back office. And it's nice to know that I don't have my family members are safe here,
yes.
like you said,
Oh,
and that works.
I don't know about you. This is the first financial institution that I've ever worked at
Mhm.
where I've encouraged and gotten my family to bank there. My last one, no one banked there. And it was because the relationships, it was the
Mhm.
trust, it was the security and the safety of knowing that my family will be taken care of, and I don't have any doubts. And that's huge.
Yeah.
Um,
It's definitely our some of our values here that we try to be. Again, it's about how we are as people, but we want to make sure that we put that out there to our members that we're trying to be as sincere as possible, to build that loyalty, and to nurture the individual person's goals. I mean, we have people that were going through a lot of things, from no income, behind on debt, trying to send somebody to college. You hear these human experiences and you want to do your best to make sure that, hey, how can I help you through your financial journey?
so great segue into financial education literacy. What you're always constantly providing great education to our members, even to our employees, to the community, to your family. For those listening today, what questions or what advice do you have for people out there that you think might be beneficial or helpful for them?
Have a plan, have a goal in mind. When we have something to attain, we put more of ourselves behind it. So if you are looking for a financial institution, if it's not Signal, but I'm hoping that it is, but you're looking for a financial institution, you should do your homework. You should do your research and have a goal. Because if you have a goal, this is what questions you might want to ask that financial person that you speak with, hey, this is what I'd like to do. What can I do to get there? And that's what we can help you with. We can provide you with a lot of different resources. I mean, I've helped people who don't bank here who've called in to give them advice and say, hey, this is on our website. Even though you're not a member, you can see it. But if you choose to become a member, there's more stuff. But we have stuff that we can help people on their journey, but you have to have a plan in order to know what kind of questions to ask so that the representative can really help you dive in with how to get the prom dress, how to get to your first car, how to get your first credit card. Those are things that people are looking for, but they don't know how to ask those particular questions. But if you have a goal, we can try to help you with that. And I think that's the biggest thing that anyone who's looking for any type of financial work, have a goal, have a question. That way we can really start from there.
And that's great advice. And thank you for sharing that, because I think that's such, sometimes we don't know what to do, and we need help. And it's a sign of intelligence when you ask for help. Knowing what you
Mhm.
don't know and reaching out, it's really going to be beneficial to you. And at the end of the day, we have so many people here that specialize what they do. They like helping. It's only to your benefit to reach out and ask. I know, we did a posting video about Are you planning a wedding or getting ready to walk down the aisle? That's a huge thing to prepare for. The engagement ring, the wedding, the event, the honeymoon. You know,
Stressful.
we can help find ways to save money, get rewards, plan so that it's not all at one time. So that's great advice.
Mm.
We have some people that joined us throughout our conversation, Sheila. We have
Oh.
uh, Pat Roque, who had joined us from North Carolina. So she was saying greetings, and she made a comment here that I wanted to share. She said that innovation included, ironically, going back to the basic premise of kindness, empathy, connections, and belonging, the sense
Yes,
of belonging. What are your
yes.
thoughts about that?
It's true. It's completely true. And that is what I was mentioning before. It's like you want to have a place that you want to go to, that you don't stress out about having to get up in the morning and go, oh my God. Do I have to really go there? Or as a member, it's like, do I really want to deal with these people today? Because there are companies you just don't want to call.
Oh yeah.
Because you always feel like the that you're never really a person to them. Even if you're dealing with them, through different avenues, you always feel like, okay, this person really doesn't care. I'm just a client to these folks, and you want to have that sense of belonging because you're like, this is my credit union. This is my employer. These are my colleagues. And you work way more. You put in so much more hours because you feel that sense of security, of want and desire and kindness.
I love that, and I think that's just the way you said it there. Because sense of belonging is so important, but when you hear people talk about what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to the bank or I'm going to my credit union. When they say my credit union, that's like I'm going to a place where I feel like I belong, not to
Mhm,
just a store or a building. So thank you. So we have another person. So we have Daryl here who said, "How do you develop your current leaders, high potentials, and expendable employees? Do you do formal training planning?" And
oh,
so, and I know that here at Signal we have done leadership training. Sheila
mhm,
went through it, where we did 4 sessions where we talked about everything from how to help them get to the next level, how
mhm,
to be a better leader for their teams, how to help them grow as a leader, and also introducing things like emotional intelligence,
mhm,
microaggressions, implicit bias, things that really affect the culture and affect it not only with our members but with our employees. But also having a succession planning and
mhm,
critical role analysis. We all have
mhm,
critical roles that we all know we have out there. Certain roles are critical in the sense that if they left, today, you would be in a tough situation. If our HR manager left today and our paychecks were not going to get cut, that's a critical role.
very much so.
We have cybersecurity people in IT. If they left
Mhm,
today, that is a critical role. So making sure that we have succession planning for those kind of roles,
yes,
identifying and appreciating and valuing those critical roles.
I
So I
I
hope
definitely
that
agree because, for you who, what you just mentioned is completely true. It's like with the training, the information that I got to learn, there was a lot of information that actually helped me, and learning to check in on your staff. It's important because along with the secession type tools, it's just to find out, hey, how are you doing today? What would you like to do? Having those one-on-ones, either bi-weekly or weekly, is very important because you get to stay on top of a person's aura, atmosphere, what they're thinking. You'll know in advance before someone is trying to leave, because you'll kind of sense that information because of the one-on-ones or check-ins, as I call them, with your staff. So I think that's very important to not only have the policies and procedures in place to see what they're doing, how they're doing overall in their current profession, but then also knowing, okay, what other desires and skills that you want to learn and making sure that you back them up in those endeavors so that they can reach those and attain those goals without feeling so stressed out or feeling that they doing some type of disservice to their team.
well said. And I think that's something that people nowadays, if they realize your team and if you really are going to be a leader, you're going to inspire, you're going to help, but you're also going to build that relationship with them and build that relationship trust. If they trust you, you're going to have magic happen. So
Mhm.
um, we have another comment here from a friend of mine, Sebastian Ong. Thanks for Sebastian for commenting. He said having people first, first corporate culture is strong indicate I'm sorry, I can't read. Having a people first culture, corporate culture, is a strong indication of the external stakeholders that this is a brand that cares.
Yes.
um, and forgive me for not having my glasses and having it get too close to the screen on. I should have put on my glasses. I know our CEO Francois we're releasing right now is like, put on your glasses. But that, I think Sebastian makes a good point. That people first company culture is a huge thing and it does promote the brand. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts about that?
Oh, I definitely said that earlier. I mean, I definitely agree because people sometimes, as I said, where I've worked before, when you forget who really runs the company, your organization, you have parts that always seem to be missing, or things may be running slow. It could be stagnant. But when you make it a point to invest in your people, then you're truly investing in your organization. You're truly expecting your organization to go to heights beyond Superman's capability because you're looking at your actual human resources and developing them to really make take your company to the next location. So you have to, I definitely always feel that companies that truly dedicate themselves to looking at their honest human resources are always the companies that you actually will see that are doing the best.
Thank you for using human resources not as a department name, but as an individual effort, because that is it is what it's about. Is it looking at the individual and what they bring and looking at them as a whole. So
Mhm.
thank you. So we have a comment from a LinkedIn user. This might be a little inside joke, but we have town halls every week that our CEO does, and the chat's open. And during the chat, you have the option of hitting anonymous. So we always have an anonymous person that chimes in. So this is our anonymous version because he just
Okay.
is labeled as LinkedIn user. So it could be someone from the
Right.
credit union or outside, but they said that being a member of a credit union, it makes you feel like you are belonging to a group who cares about you and your financial needs. And I think, again, we've already said
Yes.
that before. If you walk into a place and they don't care enough to listen to you and hear you, then how are they really truly going to help you? And that's a really good point. So
I
um,
totally agree.
we have another comment here. Joining late, had a meeting in conflict, but glad to be here from Washington, D.C. Debbie D. So she's another friend of mine, local. And Debbie, thank you for joining us here in Washington, D.C. It's always great to have you. And and of course, I knew it. Guess what the next comment is? From our
Hmm.
CEO, Francois Verlason. Guess what he said? He said,
Put your glasses.
put on your glasses. Did I call it? Did I call it? I knew he was going to
You
say
did. You did.
it. So
Sight is sometimes very important because,
it is. It
if
is.
you're not
Eyesight,
looking correctly, you might miss the credit union.
we take wellness very seriously here. And I will say, because of our wellness program, I actually saved my eye. I would have lost my eyesight in one eye if I had not gone to get my eye checked. So for those who don't have wellness programs, definitely look at doing that. It's a great thing.
Very.
But listen, Sheila, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really just enjoyed having you here. You are
Thanks
not
for
only
having me.
a pleasure to work with, you're a pleasure to talk to, and on a personal level, you have such a wonderful insight. So thank you for always being there to join us in our Signal event nights that we do in the evening to add value
Be
because
fun.
they are. And Sheila's one of those key people that she's not afraid about talking about religion, politics, social injustice. She'll bring it
No,
up,
I'm not.
but we do it in a good way where it's respectful, we learn from each other, and we grow as a team. So,
As I
so
said, I was deprogrammed from my multiple years.
well, I'm glad that we were able to help deprogram, if anything, and we're so glad that you're here with us. For those of you listening, stand tuned for our next LinkedIn Live coming up. We have two new guests coming up. Our next one is going to be PJ. He's our mortgage loan officer, as I mentioned last time, and he'll
Great
be
stuff.
joining us in 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks after that, guess what we have? We
Do
have
tell.
Sheila Ross. We we
Oh,
we 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 have our VP of IT and e-services, Alec Patrick, who'll be joining us and talking. Hopefully, he'll be able to share some of the teasers that we've been teasing about and highlight
Ooh,
that.
yes.
Also
Drop
talk
some
about some
tea.
things that are unique in IT and e-services. And then, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say he's going to talk about his favorite topic, which is Sheila.
Cryptocurrency.
There you go. So come back for that LinkedIn Live for with Alex Patrick to learn about technology, IT, cryptocurrency, and more. So thank
It'll
you
be
everyone
fun.
for paying attention. Thank you again, Sheila. We really do
My
appreciate
pleasure.
you. And oh wait, we do have
And
one
thank you for
more
what you're
thing.
doing too. This is really great for our members and for everyone at large.
And thank you all. I appreciate that, and I look forward to having you back again in the future. So,
Okay, no problem.
well, have a great day, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon. And check out Signal.
We're the place to be.